It was supposed to be just another quiet night, an anonymous table, a simple steak, and a chance for Aaron Vale to feel a little normal again. No cameras, no crowds, no polished smiles hiding a hollow heart. But as he sat alone in the dimly lit corner of a small-town restaurant, dressed in a plain jacket instead of his usual suit, he didn't know his life was about to change. Not because of the food, but because of a small, trembling piece of paper slid across the table by a young waitress. If you believe in kindness, humility, and second chances, please take a moment to like, share, and subscribe, where real stories remind us what humanity still means. Aaron Vale was the kind of man people rarely saw truly smile. Once a bright, hungry college student from Chicago's toughest streets, he had built an empire of luxury hotels across continents. Billions of dollars, penthouses, private jets, he had it all. Yet, behind the fortune and the polished grin was a loneliness that never left. 3 years ago, his wife Evelyn had passed away from cancer, leaving him with guilt that money could never erase. He hadn't been there enough when she needed him most. Since then, no applause, no wealth, no success had filled the hollow ache in his chest. So, every few months, Aaron escaped. No entourage, no limousine, no tailored suit. Just an old sedan, a small town, and the hope of finding a forgotten piece of the man he used to be. That night, rain glazed the streets of Maplewood, a sleepy town with flickering neon signs and warm, smoky diners. He parked outside a modest restaurant called the Iron Skillet. Inside, it smelled of butter, smoke, and memories, the kind of place where laughter rang loud, the staff knew every regular's name, and steak sizzled on iron plates rather than silver trays. Aaron took a corner seat by the fogged-up window. A young waitress approached. Her name tag read Mara. She couldn't have been older than 23, yet her eyes carried a weight far beyond her years. Her shirt was neat, her shoes worn to the last mile. She smiled, but the effort it took made it fragile. "What can I get you, sir?" she asked softly. Aaron ordered a ribeye, medium rare, and a glass of water. She nodded and hurried away, but he noticed the limp in her step, subtle but there. She moved like someone carrying a hidden burden. When she returned with his meal, Aaron caught glimpses of her glancing nervously toward the kitchen, brushing a strand of hair from her face, whispering something under her breath as she stared at her phone. He didn't mean to notice. Years of building an empire had numbed him to the world, to other people's pain. But something about the tremble in her hand, the way her eyes avoided his, stirred a memory. A memory of Evelyn, years ago, sitting in a hospital room telling him about a lump in her chest, and him promising they'd handle it later. Guilt had etched itself into his soul, and here it was again. Halfway through his meal, Mara returned with the check. But instead of walking away, she hesitated. Her hand shook as she slid a folded note beneath the receipt. "Thank you," she whispered, voice cracking slightly, then she disappeared into the back. Aaron unfolded the paper. The handwriting was uneven, hurried. "If you're not who I think you are, I'm sorry. But please, if you can help, my little brother needs surgery tomorrow. They're going to cancel it because I can't pay the rest of the bill. I've tried everything. I'll lose him. Please forgive me for asking." Mara. He froze. It wasn't the request itself that hit him. It was the desperation, the raw honesty of someone who looked him in the eye while holding back tears. He could have sent an assistant, a check, anything. But something inside told him this needed to be personal. Aaron quietly paid the bill and left without a word. Outside, the rain had stopped. A thin fog curled around the streetlights, the quiet hum of the town settling around him. For a long time, he stood, looking back through the glass at Mara wiping tables, forcing her tired smile for the next customer. The next morning, Maplewood General Hospital was stunned when a sleek black car pulled up. A man in a gray coat walked straight to the billing desk, handed over a folder, and said, quietly, "Everything on Mara Lane's brother's account is cleared. All expenses now and future are paid." Before anyone could ask who he was gone. Later, Mara rushed in after her shift, breathless and terrified, to find her little brother laughing with a nurse after a successful surgery. A small envelope had been left for her. Inside, a simple note on elegant stationery read, "Mara, you reminded me what it means to see someone's pain and not look away. Thank you for the note. You helped me remember who I am, a friend." That night, back in his penthouse, Aaron stood by the window overlooking the glowing city skyline. For the first time in years, he felt something pure, not guilt, not pity, but peace. Evelyn had once told him that real wealth isn't measured in money. It's measured in the hearts we touch. Weeks later, the Iron Skillet received an anonymous investment. Staff wages doubled, the old building was repaired, and Mara never learned who had done it. Yet every time a man in a grey coat passed the window, she smiled, as if she somehow knew. If this story touched your heart, if you believe even the smallest act of kindness can ripple into something life-changing, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Before you go, tell us in the comments. Have you ever helped a stranger in their darkest moment? Or has a stranger ever changed your life unexpectedly? We'd love to hear your story. Because sometimes, it takes just one note, one small act, to remind someone, even a billionaire, what truly matters. Aaron Vale never forgot Mara's trembling hand, the desperate note, or the look of relief on her brother's face. That night, he realized something the world of marble walls and golden ceilings could never teach him. True wealth is found in kindness, in empathy, and in seeing someone's pain and doing something about it.